morning. It's the day of my second exam. Going to get myself a Starbucks because you know what? I think I need a bit of a pick-me-up. Yeah. HSC exam 2, done. English paper 2, done. Do I ever have to look at anything English related again? Not being forced to. I probably will because I enjoy reading, but Huskies, come here. C'est très bon. I think that I did quite well with what I had, with all of my information. I believe that I did well. That's all you can ask for. Yeah. The questions were all right. They were kind of they were right. Mod A, that question kind of confused me because it was so like kind of broad and not specific, which is fine, but I was kind of like, okay, well then what do I talk about? That was fine, I guess. I talked about the poems because we did Bright Star, which is Bright Star and John Keats's poems and how they like relate and contrast and collide and reframe and I didn't use the word collide. That's okay. I used other words. That was a lot. After reading the questions, okay, wait, I need to paint a picture. So I sat down in the exam and I was just like appreciating the space around me, okay? And so he has to read out now like each page, kind of like overviewing what it is, what's happening, which is a bit annoying because it takes up more time. We always end up being 5 minutes late, but also 5 minutes, and they give us like more time to revise our stuff outside, which is really kind of them. We go through while he's reading it, and we're not meant to read the questions, but of course, if you have a really smart brain and a really attentive eye, you read the question and you get a bit of a feel for what's coming up in your 5 minutes of reading time. And I need to slow down. I read the questions. The first one for module A confused me because that's for John Keats' Bright Star. It confused me because it was so kind of not specific and very broad, so I didn't really know what to talk about, but I just decided to talk about what I know. And then module B was An Artist of the Floating World, which I hate that text, but I think I did fairly well with the evidence that I had. I did a lot of waffling. I talked about symbolism. I talked about all of that. Yeah. I realised I forgot to talk a lot about for Bright Star. Oh, hi. Hi, buddy. What you doing? What you doing? You want to come lie on my tummy? Here you are. I realised I forgot to talk about some things that I'm now remembering, like epizeuxis and still of, that probably doesn't make any sense if you haven't read Bright Star, the poem, I mean. It's still. What is it? Upon my fair love's ripening breast. I don't know. But yeah, so those two were a bit shocking in the sense of my structure went out the window just a little bit. And then when I read the third and final module C, which I prepared for an imaginative writing thing, so I had my mentor texts ready to be critically reflected upon and how I was inspired in my thing to use it. Yeah, I got to the question and read the stimulus and I was like, that seems really hard to write an imaginative piece to. And then came to realise in the question, it said, write a discursive or persuasive text. Write one of them. Now, you see, I'm very, very grateful for my little intuitive brain to have thought beforehand, hey, just in case I can't write imaginative, but that's like an imaginatory thing, right? not a reality, okay? Just in case I need to write discursively because I haven't written a persuasive since primary school. But to be fair, I've never written a discursive. I asked that question and got told a brief overview of what discursive writing is, and look, I had to write about it and I think I popped off. It's the one I feel most confident in, so I'm not too sure how I'm gonna go for this one, but that's okay. That's all right, because you know what? I did my best, and you know what? I'm proud of that, and I felt really good. I surprised myself. I did 4 pages worth of writing in module A. Module B, I did 3 pages, and module C, I did 2 and a bit pages, which is pretty like good in 2 hours where I wasn't really writing fast for any of them, apart from maybe mod B, because I wanted to get that one out of the way because I've done it before, so I was kind of like, yeah, here, bleh, right? Not my strongest, but also I really dislike the text, so it was hard for me to connect to it and put more effort into it rather than Bright Star and the others. But module C was the most confident one that I felt. I used rhetorical questions, I used onomatopoeia, I like came up with some stuff because I was talking about time. Time was like the kind of thing that I ran with the stimulus, and like how we make things easier or harder for ourselves. Like we live in a time where things are so easy to do, but also we make them harder for ourselves by like phones. I use phones as an example. I was like, phones, I worded it in like an addictive attraction. That's what phones are, an addictive attraction, because phones are meant to be quick, easy, but they end up taking more time than they give because we scroll. Yeah, I use that as an example. I use rhetorical questions. I used onomatopoeia to say something about like the complexity. What is it? Oh, the complacency. Like, are we getting complacent with the convenience, with how convenient things are, and the conscious collection of, I don't know. It was something like very profound, very insightful, very onomatopoeia. I think that, or alliteration. I don't know anymore. I never have to do English again, so you know what? I don't care anymore. But I popped off. It was pretty much like, treat time, I used a metaphor. It's like, treat time, like time is diamonds. Are you going to give diamonds to everyone for free? No. Are you going to ask a high price for diamonds? Yes. Are you going to keep your diamonds for yourself? You can do that. Or are you going to sell rubies instead? Are you going to are you going to chuck away the diamonds? Like what are you going to do if you had diamonds? Like, treat time like diamonds. I actually need to take my own advice with that, because goddamn, time is like diamonds, people. They're very rare and they're very expensive. And if I were to get diamonds for free, I'd be stoked. But when do we ever get diamonds for free? I know I said that in my thing. I feel like I was quite good with my writing there. For someone who's never written discursively, I hope it was discursive, otherwise I just went on a tangent. And yeah, but like I finished it off with like, through all of the conflicting and complex like thoughts around time, like battling between my body's clock and the world's clock, I know what my time is worth. Do you? That's how I ended it. I was like, do you know how much your time is worth? Do you know your worth? After asking myself these questions, I know what my time is worth. Do you? That's what I pretty much did. And yeah, I hope it was insightful and helpful, and I did some good, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh. So tired. I am also enlightened. I am feeling a lot of things. HSE is a lot. I woke up this morning, I don't know if you could tell, I was very flat. because I was very, very tired. I didn't get a good sleep because, I don't know, I was a bit amped up from my first HSC exam, but I was also so tired, but also spent my time looking at my screen so my brain wouldn't stop, and I just couldn't stop thinking about like my quotes and if I'm going to remember them, and trying to say them over and over and over, and then trying not to say them because they were stressing me out, and it was a lot. But I think tonight, better care for myself will be to not be on a screen before I go to bed, to possibly read before bed or journal. Obviously study. I can also do some of that in the morning as well, like I did today, because I need sleep. I honestly could go to sleep now, but I want to get a good sleep tonight, so I'm gonna hold out and do some me time stuff, fill up my cup, because I woke up this morning, I honestly woke up this morning and felt so like depleted. And why is that? Because I didn't fully look after myself last night before bed. I didn't do my self-love, self-care little habitual things and like hygiene and stuff, which I fixed up and did like this morning, which is good because I owe that to myself. That's one thing that I am really proud of, is that when I make the conscious decision, because it used to not be conscious, when I make the conscious decision of being like, no, I'm not going to, like for an example, like, no, I'm not going to have a shower tonight, I'll have one in the morning. What are you doing, Oscar? What's happening? No, I'm not going to have a shower tonight, I'll have it in the morning. And then sticking to that and actually consciously having a shower in the morning and looking after myself and brushing my teeth and eating breakfast. Like yesterday morning, I didn't eat breakfast. I had a little muffin thing and that was it. I had a coffee. I had water. Not enough water though. But today we're upgrading. We're upgrading in self-care because waking up this morning did not feel good. I didn't feel light and bubbly. I eventually got there, but I was feeling a little bit defeated, especially with the exam that I was doing today, because it's a very content heavy and you need to know a whole chunk for each module and then be asked on a certain point for those modules. So I was anticipating and freaking out a bit with that. But I got better in the exam, which was good. And I feel quite light right now, which is lovely. I've got to study for dance this afternoon and tomorrow morning. And dance is good because it's a tough subject. However, it's easier to prepare for because you don't have to memorize quotes, you memorize movements and meanings, and like you can kind of, you're allowed to waffle a little bit to show your understanding of what's happening. So it's a bit beautiful. Oh, skis. Oh, buddy. I just want this video to be a reminder to self-care during your HSC and make sure you don't slack off, because you'll wake up this morning feeling a bit average like me, then going into your exam and being like, I am consciously trying right now to not say or like in between sentences, so I can actually think about what I'm saying and what I want to say instead of just rambling on. Yeah, and then maybe I should also stop saying yeah.
Do you feel in the silence? Maybe I should have a nap. I think I'm gonna go have a nap.
I am grateful for a successful exam and a challenging exam. Yeah. Goodbye.